been affected by COVID and all of this?
COVID's been interesting. Where do I start?
I don't know.
Right. We're a relatively new business. We've been around for about 2 years. So we're as a newer business, we felt we had the opportunity to pivot, right, in a way that maybe bigger businesses might not have been as able to. In terms of the STARS program, I would say it's exceeded my expectations.
Wow.
Our STARS
Great.
clients have all stayed with us. They've all continued their programs. And one of the interesting things that we've seen is that our programs work really well in a remote environment. So we had one STARS program that started with people working traditionally, on site, doing the training and doing the interviewing on site. They actually started the program, and then 2 weeks in, they were told they needed to quarantine and work from home. And we actually had one guy who had relocated for this job. A lot of our candidates for relocation is something that we look at. It isn't always the best thing. We really make sure that the folks have that support, right, to make sure that they're going to be successful. In this case, this was an individual who was more than ready to move to a new city. When he got there, it turned out that the role that he'd been hired for changed on day one. So he was presented with a real challenge, and then 2 weeks in, quarantine. So challenge on top of challenge, and which would have been tough for anybody. And yet he went through the 12-week program, got an offer, and is now doing phenomenally well.
That's great.
So we've had to make some changes to STARS. We had a second program that we did completely virtually, from training to recruiting. The first time folks set foot on site with the customer was on day one to pick up their laptops and then turn around and go back and start working remotely. And our guys work really well in that environment. Our guys are, we kind of joke about it that our folks on the spectrum are just fine with social distancing. There's a lot of that. As long as they know what the rules are and what the process is, and so if they know what's expected of them, they do really well.